Gina Kloes is best-selling author, What's Your Magical Moment, inspirational speaker, has worked with Deepak Chopra, the Tony Robbins team, and is just an all-around amazing woman. And she's going to give us some very specific tips on how to be stress-free during the holidays with all of your family coming into town and everything just happening. How do you control that? So we're going to start by just talking about what's the biggest problem that causes stress for people during the holidays.
Well, that's a great question, Sequoia. I see two issues. The first issue is we all live in a hectic, fast-paced, demanding life already. And then boom, the holidays come along, and on top of our already busy life, we have shopping, we have family get-togethers, and we have things to do and events to go to, especially for work and friends, and it adds a lot of pressure and demands on us. And on top of that, I think more importantly, many of us have an image of the holidays where a family's sitting around the table, smiling, and everybody getting along. Really?
Right.
This is in a holiday movie or, Christmas out of a Norman Rockwell painting. And rarely do people actually have that experience. So we unconsciously and consciously set ourselves up with this expectation, and then it's rarely met. So we're left disappointed, bummed out, and it's no surprise that people are stressed out and their anxiety and depression goes up during the holidays because we're not able to live up to this grandiose expectation of the ideal holiday.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree. So what suggestions do you have to help people get past that, like really get into that stress and solve the problem?
Well, I think first, really take a moment and set some reasonable expectations for your holiday experience. Set yourself up to win by really planning. Oftentimes people say yes when they really want to say no. I'm sure, Sequoia, you've had that experience too.
I've had that experience so many times. Like I will commit to like 15 things, have to run around and be in 20 different locations at one time and just end up super stressed out. I'm just like, what do I do? Like, what do I take away? Like, but you have to appease everybody, right? So what else? Like, what other things do you suggest?
Well, first of all, I don't know that you really have to appease everyone. I think that because you're so loving and so wonderful to all the people around you and the entrepreneurs that you work with, sometimes we believe that we have to say yes to everything. When in truth, saying no periodically is really healthy. And the people, especially during the holidays, people understand that you have other commitments. So when you say no and you really attend the things that are important to you, and yes, there will be obligatory things you have to go to, you actually pace yourself and you set a plan for the whole holiday season. So setting that plan and setting that intention and asking what has to happen so I can set myself up to win throughout the holidays is important. And in addition, make sure you take time for yourself to recharge. And I teach this not just around the holidays, but in life. Take a moment to just breathe. Take a walk outside, pause, take a moment to reflect on the day and your life. And even through the holidays, just a few moments, even of deep breathing, will help balance and reverse the effects of stress. There are many studies that show that deep breathing, even for a few moments, can reverse heart disease, can increase and improve immunity. And it's in that pause between the demands of our life where actually more creativity and more innovation really surfaces for all of us. But you need to pause. I know that 7 a.m. gives that complimentary 1 minute of calm through my program to anybody who ever wants it, because sometimes we need some added support. So you can log on and go have that 1 minute. But either way, pause, take a few deep breaths, take a cup of tea. It's no surprise that in stressful times, people are drawn to nature. Nature soothes us. So even if you're in an office, go outside and look up at the sky and breathe.
I totally agree with that. I think that's so amazing. What do you think social media plays in terms of the role of stress during this time? Because, you have to show and prove, and like there's all these different platforms, and like you have to feel like, oh, I'm doing this amazing thing. So how do you balance that? Like, first of all, what do you think the role is that social media plays? And then how do you balance that with your own personal life?
That's a great question, and it really is important during the holidays. I always tell people, don't get caught in this social media approval trap. Oftentimes, we sit and we post our photos or we view everyone else's images on social media, Facebook and other places, and really think, oh gosh, how does my life compare? Am I getting 500 likes? Who's commenting? Who likes what I've done? Is it up to par with what everyone else is doing? And the challenge is that social media posts are really just a highlight reel of real life. They're not real life. And so behind those posts, there's a real person with challenges, with problems, with life, just like we have. And yet we think that social media reel is real life. And what happens more often than not, there was a study done by Nielsen recently that said adults spend 11 or more hours a day connected to media and tech. And for me, I think media and tech are so important. I mean, tech allows us to chat and allows you to share your wisdom through 7 a.m. in your platform. And yet people start living in the virtual world, which is really an external fiction. And so we spend 11 hours a day connected to social media, seeking approval. We're missing our real life. And learning to go within ourselves is an important skill. It's really where we find our own wisdom and our own voice beyond all the other voices on social media and all the other people telling us what we should and shouldn't do. And so taking those moments to just be with ourselves internally disconnected is really important. And there are ways to help. I mean, 7 a.m. has our stress relief program. You can do it there. But just taking that moment to breathe and realize all you need is within you right now. And it's beautiful to really just take that moment to just pause. And especially during the holidays, ask yourself, what's my real truth? Where is my place of calm? Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I totally get that. So when you're finding that balance, what exactly I know you said going outside, I know you said going to 7 a.m. and doing that course, because I think that is so important to have that balance. So how much do you feel like time-wise you should spend, just out of curiosity, and having that balance? Like, how much is technology-based? How much is you personally? And then how do you delve into that deeper?
Yeah, I think creating balance is so important because our society's technology is so important, and most of our work revolves around technology. And so we do have to commit a certain amount of time to staying connected and working. And yet, what are we working so hard for anyway? If you ask most people, they'd say, I'm working so hard so I can spend time with the people I love, to spend time with my children. For me, one of my greatest joys and magical moments is spending time with my husband, who's amazing and who I'm madly in love with. And it's not through social media, it's in person. And spending time with my 5 children is key. And so it's creating that intentional time where we're experiencing real life, and it's balance and it's planning. Because if we just get swept up in our life, we have endless to-do lists. So when I teach stress relief, and even in my online course through 7 a.m., I say start with 1 minute a day. Start with 1 minute a day and see how that is. Our day one on 7 a.m. is 1 minute of calm, and it's free. You can go there and use it. Spend 1 minute a day just taking some deep breaths and going for a walk in nature. And then how about day 2, trying 2 minutes? And 2 minutes. Now, meditation is such a loaded word these days. People have this image of meditation with your hands in mudra and cross-legged gurus, and it doesn't have to be that. When we teach meditation through the Chopra Center, we teach just finding comfort in 1 minute a day or 2 minutes a day or 3 minutes a day, just training yourself, because it's like any other conditioning. We go to the gym. We don't go to the gym on the first day and lift our weights and say, hey, check it out. Look at this. We go and we condition ourselves day after day after day. So the same thing happens when you condition within yourself your natural relaxation response. It's within all of us, just like our muscles. It's a muscle to build. So if you start with one minute a day, you learn to be calm. You learn to train yourself to activate that response. Then in stressful situations like being around family that maybe you don't get along with, or there's conflict, you'll be able to activate that relaxation response in a moment, and you'll be able to train yourself. And it's such an important skill because it reverses the effects of stress. And while stress causes heart disease, it causes it decreases our immunity and increases our aging. And actually, stress actually decreases our sexual response, and it can make us sicker. So even in just those few moments of pause each day, you'll be able to live longer, you'll be able to be happier, you'll be able to be healthier, and you'll be a role model really to all the people around you. I mean, as parents, we live stress, and then we teach that stress to our kids, and this cycle continues.
Exactly. I think that's so super important. So if you're just tuning in with us, again, we are on the 7 a.m. expert, Gina Kloes. What's Your Magical Moment is her book. She has an amazing course on 7 a.m. Life that teaches you very specifically how to de-stress and be free and have that moment to spend with your family, your friends, and everybody else who actually matters to you. So we're going to wrap up here in just a bit, but I am very curious to know from Gina, what are your final thoughts? Like, what is that final thing that you want to say to really help people get past this and have a stress-free holiday that we all want?
We all focus on, stress-free as the term. And I would challenge you to not just try to have a stress-free holiday, but really ask yourself and focus on what has to happen so that I can have a joyful, magical experience with the people that we love. So I'm a trainer for Tony Robbins. One of the things that Tony teaches that is so critical is where focus goes, energy flows. So rather than focusing on not having stress, let's focusing on having magical moments and magical times with the people that we love. Because as we know, with all the craziness in the world today and all the challenge and all the pain in the world today, tomorrow is not promised to anyone. And so beyond our hectic, demanding, fast-paced life, there's a place and there's a time where you can feel inspired, you can feel joy, you can feel that magic in your heart and with the people around you. And so just take a moment and breathe and find it and focus on finding that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Gina. Again, 7am.life. She has an amazing course on there that takes you from day 1 to 21 in very 16 steps, so it's not overload for you. And in the next 24 hours, if you are to purchase, we are offering you to give the gift of stress relief. So you can go very specifically, buy this gift, give it to somebody as a gift for Christmas, for the holidays, whatever you celebrate, Hanukkah, whatever it may be. And just give that gift because it's a beautiful thing to do. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you being online with us today. And I would just like to say peace, blessings, and thank you for coming through and showing up for everyone today.
Oh, bless you, Sequoia. And next time we're together on Blab, we'll talk about what's your magical moment. Mwah. Happy holidays to you, love. Be well.
You as well.